Another issue that we've seen come up recently is that advisors are coming to us and switching over to us because they can't edit the site themselves. I posted a blog about this not that long ago, probably a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, using an independent designer. And we're seeing a lot of these independent designers come into the business. I mean, a lot of people are out of work. And so they're creating their own business and using that as an opportunity to create their own business. It's great. But a lot of advisors seem to be the guinea pigs for people that are learning how to do this. What's happened is that this recession has occurred at a time when open source content management systems have become open to everybody. Open source means that their code is open and developers can come and develop on their platform. So we're seeing content management systems like Joomla and Drupal. They always have these strange names. That's because they want to keep their URL to 5 letters. But anyway, so they have these content management systems, and web developers can create add-ons for them, just like the App Store that Apple has for the iPod. These are the original app stores, quite frankly. I think they were started even before the iPod App Store, these open source, some of these open source products. And so having these outside developers be able to develop add-ons, plugins that integrate with social media, that allow you to, port your blog over, that all of these tools come along with the site. So having these open source platforms is really good. And we actually, and they build web pages based on the semantic web, which means that their code is clean and meant to be optimized for search engines. When you go in and use the editor and you do things using yourself, it's going to create semantic code that search engines can easily understand. And so we're actually, at Advisor Products, we're building on open source. We have our own content management system also. And this goes back years that we've developed this, and it's very elaborate. It really is a very robust, it's got all kinds of features. But we're actually moving to integrate with open source CMS systems because of the great features that they'll offer, and they'll help us serve you better. So that's the direction that we're headed in. But the back office is a full-featured content management system that's really created and dedicated to an advisor's needs. So, when you want to create an email newsletter, you can do it very easily. You just, for instance, click on Personalize and then select the articles. It's a 3-step process. And so doing these things that easily, just check off the stories you want, and then you can preview and send your newsletter. And so having these features in your content management system with FINRA reviewed content, looking at some other aspects of this content management system, you can easily, very easily add pages to your site. So if you want to add a page to the site, you can click over here where it says Edit Sitemap, and I'm using. That's why I keep getting that message. I'm not in Mozilla Firefox, which renders the back office. You can move them around in the navigation of your website. I'm moving this financial briefs page down, or I can move it over here to the main navigation. So having a CMS system is really important because you can add pages, you can add content, you can add links, you can do it much of the website work yourself. And if you got support staff or if you've got part-time help, then they could learn how to do this. It's really simple. But the problem is that what we're seeing is that some of these vendors are not making available the CMS system on the open source platforms, and that's because they don't really have anything that can be presented to the advisor, and doing that sort of programming would be kind of out of their core skills. They're designers, they're probably not programmers, and building out a content management system that has, you know, the kind of elaborate functionality that advisors need can be very difficult. So some questions that you want to ask your web developer, some very basic things are things like, can I add pages to my website myself? You know, can I upload PDFs? And you'd be surprised that we're seeing that $27,000 website, the advisor could not change his site himself. So, so you want to find out, can you add pages to your website? Can you optimize your site yourself, like what I showed you before? Is that part of the content management system? Is it meant for some do-it-yourself search engine optimization? How can you do something basic like embed a YouTube video? You want to be able to, in the content management system, post a video over at YouTube, and then just take the embed code, cut and paste it. This is really simple to do. We've done webinars explaining all this, and you want to be able to get that video onto any page of your website. So can you do that yourself? Which, you know, if you start creating a video once a week, you want to be able to do it yourself. You don't want to have to call and pay for a designer to do that every week. How about an event calendar, something simple that most advisors want these days? Can you post an event calendar easily to your website? How about the compliance issues? Will your compliance officer know when you've posted new text if you need that kind of workflow? So you want to find out the answer to that. And also you want to see, is there video help available? You know, like we have, I think, about over a dozen, yeah, you should be seeing them, videos in the back office that explain the basic functionality and cover the most important features that advisors access in our content management system. So you really want to be able to get help. So ask those questions.